What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? Welcome to the Six-Man Show Postgame Live, presented by Rock'em. Well, all good things must come to an end, and tonight, the great thing of the Orlando Magic's win streak came to an end. I'm a believer, guys, in just calling things as I see them. Like I don't beat around the bush. I don't sugarcoat things. So I'm just gonna say it. The Brooklyn Nets own the Orlando Magic. They just own us. Just like we own the Celtics, the Nets own us. And specifically, Mikal Bridges owns us. Tough one tonight, guys. The Magic lose 129-101 and again snap that 9-game win streak. But yeah, we're going to talk about it right here on the Six-Man Show Postgame Live. Welcome. Glad you're here. Chat, glad you're here. I already see some things happen in the chat. They're making me laugh. By the way, this is going to be a very short edition of the Six-Man Show Postgame Live, not only because of the result, and I'm upset about this, but also, many of you know I am a diehard Florida State fan, and to my right, I am watching the ACC Championship game with our third-string quarterback, Brock Glenn, making the start tonight. It's been a wild one. I have no idea how it's going to go. Obviously, you might be watching this later, and you can be laughing at me because we lost, or maybe we'll win. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to keep this short, okay? First, Six-Man Show Postgame Live is presented by Rock'em. Rock'em, the world's largest sock store and a Central Florida brand. How about it? That's pretty cool. It's a great company with great people. They make great products like Orlando Magic socks and underwear, which you can get at Rock'em.com. And when you shop at Rock'em.com, be sure to use the code MAGIC20. MAGIC20 will get you 20% off your order, but it'll also help out the Six-Man Show. We've got a cool partnership with them this season, and we're really grateful that they've trusted us with this partnership. And so we want to make it the best it can be for them. And so if you want some good stuff, definitely shop at Rock'em.com. And right now I'm just trying to ignore the troll that is Luke Sylvia in the chat right now. What a troll. Anyway, glad you guys are here, chat. Let's take a look what you guys have to say tonight. Rough night. Just rough night. Times or TV says, I don't want to talk about it. I don't either, but here we are. Eagle says, I warned y'all. 4 straight games this defense has given up 115 plus, and 2 straight games they've given up 120. Defense shows me players will never quit. They have 3 days off to get better. Absolutely. Big. Now, why does this do this? I'm just going to call this like this is. Also, this thing keeps breaking. I test it before every show, and then when I go live, it gets all freaky. There we go. We're going to make this where it's readable. Perfect. Man, just L's all around tonight for everybody, including for the Six-Man Show Postgame Live. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Lots of rest over the next 7 to 10 days for the Magic, and so a lot of opportunity for not just rest, but maybe some fine-tuning of some things. Thanks, Praises says, pain, you better believe it. That's pretty much all I'm feeling right now. Yeah. Okay, you guys are funny. Esteban says, absolutely blatant one-sided officiating. Looks like the refs finally got their DraftKings sponsorship. Yeah, officiating was very strange tonight. Very, very strange. Pretty disappointing. Obviously not the reason you lose this game, but still not great. Very, very frustrating. I think it was also the earliest technical foul of Coach Mosley's head coaching career. He got it in the first quarter. I don't think he's ever had that before. Franz Boogie says, we got too high. We set ourselves up. Yeah. You wondered if that was going to happen at some point. I don't know if tonight was about the team having that same mentality, but us fans certainly had a mentality like that. Rich said they just called another foul for Bridges. Yep. Bridges to the free throw line for 2 more. Thanks, Praise says, grateful for our record and what we've accomplished thus far. Let's not lose sight of what we've achieved. Go Magic. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? This team is 14-6 through 20 games. Like, that's bonkers. You know how many teams would kill to be 14-6 after 20 games? And he hooked it left. Oh, man. Missed field goal for Florida State. Chris says they look tired. It happens on some nights. They weren't going to go 77-5, although 76-6 is still on the table. They'll be fine. Yeah. 3rd game in 4 nights. This team was just gassed. And Brooklyn just loves to run. And it doesn't help. Like, when Brooklyn gets off to a start like that, where they start 6 of 7 from 3, like, how demoralizing is that? Rough. Eduardo says, Kevin talked me off the ledge, man. I'm telling you, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Tonight was a rough night. I think Brooklyn owns us, but it is what it is. I see we've already got a couple super chats. Let me hit the rest of these. Here's the first one. Ty Mr. TV says, like button. I can't take if FSU won and Bama won. Yeah. We'll see how that goes as far as the playoff. I have no idea what to expect. Let's see. Luis Rosario says, Kevin and I have been a Knoll for 44 years. It took 13 years for our first championship. We will win one again soon. Oh, fumble! Oh, Louisville got it. Okay. Yeah, someday. I don't think it'll be this year, but someday. Someday. Anthony Velez says, still go Magic. Yes, sir, Anthony. Yes, sir. Michael Lynch says, 3:30 a.m. in Ireland. Wish this group got the record. Yeah, me too. That would have been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. David J says, the only games this year I've had an issue with officiating were Dallas and tonight. Yeah, tonight was rough. Again, it's not the reason you lose, but it certainly didn't help. I see Ty with another super chat. He says, he meant to say, I can't take if FSU loses plus Bama won. Yeah, absolutely. Kinetic Kid with a super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, starting a GoFundMe to replace every NBA official. Yeah. Armin, this is exactly right, man. He says, to everyone overreacting, please relax. We are going to be fine. We are still a very young team. Go Magic. That's 100% right, Armin. 100%. 82 game season, everybody. 82 games. Okay? Nights like this are going to happen. Okay? Ajori says, we got to play deeper into our bench when it comes to back-to-back. The guys look exhausted. They really did. They really did. All right, guys. Like I said, we're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it sweet. Let's talk about this game. In my opinion, the game was lost in the first quarter. I know statistically that's not necessarily true. But I think, obviously, well, statistically it's partially true. I mean, you go down 21 points at the end of the first quarter. That's always going to be a challenge. But I think mentally it was the biggest thing here. Mentally, you go down by 21 at the end of the first quarter. And it wasn't just the fact that you go down by 21, but it's just how it happened. Like, normally when the Magic go down in the first quarter, which has happened several games over the course of the win streak, it's because of turnovers. Tonight it wasn't because of turnovers at all. Magic did really well protecting the basketball. I'm pretty sure we had 10 turnovers before garbage time. Ended up with 11 turnovers on the game. Yeah, it wasn't turnovers. It was just a lack of energy, lack of effort, lack of hustle, and the Nets just could not miss. Yeah, they had a lot of easy looks, but they also had some contested threes, and they were knocking them down. They ended up 6 of 8 from 3 in that first quarter. And in my mind, that was where the game was lost. Sure, the Magic made it a game in the second half. We're going to talk about that, but you can't lose a quarter 43-22, and hope to come back. Especially when I almost said Miles Bridges. Oh my gosh, Mikal Bridges had 26 points in the first quarter. Insane from him, but also a lot of open looks for him, a lot of foul calls for him. Anyway, I'm a guy that likes to find silver lining in things. The silver lining that I found in this first quarter was just how grateful I am for Magic fans and for the atmosphere at Amway Center. Why, Kevin, would you say that on I Like to this? On I Like Tonight, you say. Because the Nets, they got out to a 20-point lead in the first quarter, and it sounded like they were playing in a library. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what is this? Your team is a good basketball team, not great, but good. Playoff caliber, or maybe at least play-in caliber team. And you get a 20-point lead in the first quarter, and it's crickets. Man, it's a tough crowd out there today. Jonathan Osborne, host of the Six Man Show, says, last 3 games before tonight, you're 13th in defensive rating. Last 4, you're probably bottom half of the league. Yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great. Going back to that first quarter, you shoot 29% from the field, while the Nets shot 75% from 3. They go 6 of 8 from 3, while you shoot 29% from the field. First quarter could not have gone worse, I don't think, for the Magic. Also couldn't buy a foul call to save your life. We already talked about this. Brooklyn got a lot of tight calls, while you didn't get any. Yeah, it was rough. And that continued in the second quarter. While the second quarter was slightly better, you still don't make a dent in it, and you lose the quarter, actually. Magic trailed 73-51 at the half, and Bridges ended up with 34 at half. You couldn't finish at the rim. I mean, guys, like stuff that guys make all the time. Easy buckets at the rim. Couldn't get them. Couldn't knock down open jumpers. Brooklyn just frustrated us as well. Like I thought this game was more physical, obviously, because I think the team was really tired, but don't underestimate the mental aspect of this game. Like, Brooklyn just frustrates the Orlando Magic. And we just couldn't stop them. And the biggest thing tonight, you just couldn't rebound. Like, this team prides itself and finds success when it is rebounding the basketball, and we just could not do it tonight. Then the second half happens. Gives us a glimmer of hope, but it was false hope, of course. You get it down to 85-75. You also got it down to 10 later in the game, but this was a moment that I wrote down. You get it down to 85-75. Then Gary Harris with a three that goes in and out. I mean, that thing was halfway down. Could have made it a 7-point game. Instead, Brooklyn runs out for a Cam Johnson layup. Makes it a 12-point lead. A gigantic 5-point swing. And you didn't get it closer than, I think, 9 later over the course of the rest of the game. You had a couple of other moments where you got to single digits. Or maybe it was 10 points. I can't remember, 9 or 10. Either way, a couple other moments. You trail 98-85 after 3 quarters. Again, it was a great fight from the Magic in the third quarter. But they had multiple chances to make it a single-digit game, and they couldn't do it. And then in the fourth quarter, he just completely ran out of gas. As tired as this team looked through the first 3 quarters, the fourth quarter, they just had nothing left. Absolutely nothing left. So, rough night for the Orlando Magic. But, like we talked about, a lot of rest ahead for this team and more winnable games. And so if this team can regroup, get some rest, we're going to be just fine. Just fine. We're going to look at the box score next. Before I do, Ty says, I'm ready for the next streak. Heck yeah, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Victor says, we lost 1, so what? Let's get 9 more. Let's do it. Peacecraft says, missing J.I. on the boards. Yeah, I was going to talk about him in a second when we look at the box score, but yeah, really could have used J.I. tonight. What am I missing up here? Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. Esteban says, we have way too many missed dunks and easy under the basket shots. Yeah. You expect any NBA professional to hit those, but tonight was just rough. Just rough. Ryan says, we finally got caught on a back-to-back. We'll be fine. Yeah. Eduardo says, I have not given up on Luke's nipples. Well, I can promise you won't see them tomorrow night. Promise you won't. All right, guys, let's take a look at this box score tonight. Franz with 20 points. Just a rough first half for him. Played pretty well in the second half, but rough first half. Just couldn't buy a bucket. Does end up shooting the ball well from 3. Excuse me, guys. 2 for 3 from 3 and from the free throw line. Hits all 6 of his free throws. Adds 7 boards, 5 assists. But again, 6 of 16 from the field tonight. Just not his night. Paolo, similarly, not a great night shooting the basketball. 6 of 15 from the field, including 0 for 2 from 3. Very rare night lately for Paolo to not make a single 3. He does go 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Did have 10 boards and 8 assists. Solid night from outside of scoring the basketball for Paolo. Near triple-double. And again, only 2 turnovers for Franz and Paolo. I keep mentioning that stat. It's huge for the Magic, and tonight, turnovers were not the issue for the Magic. Again, it's seldom that is the case. Tonight, again, not the issue. Goga, I mean, woof. Rough night. We talk about not finishing at the basket. Had several of those moments for him tonight. 3 points, 5 boards for him, and a block. Jalen, very quiet night for him. Obviously, foul trouble was a huge part of that. One thing I said to Jonathan and Luke in our group chat tonight, that 5th foul on Jalen Suggs might have been the worst play of his season. Like, that was not a smart play by him. The Magic that was in the third quarter, and the Magic, maybe it was early fourth quarter, I can't remember. Regardless, the Magic were in the middle of that potential comeback. They had it down. I think it was a 12-point game when that happened. And Jalen was a big part of getting this team back into the game. And so for him to make that, what I thought was just a really foolish play when you have 4 fouls, to get number one, to put yourself into that position. Number 2, to actually like lower the shoulder for that screen. Just disappointing moment for him. But yeah, quiet night for Jalen. And obviously foul trouble is a big part of that. Anthony Black tonight, 2 points. Played 19 minutes, AB was AB. Joe Ingles, super quiet night for him all across the board. Only 5 points, 2 boards for him, and 2 assists. Gary Harris, man. Gary Harris has been rough the last, I want to say, at least 3 games, maybe 4. And tonight, 0 of 5 from 3. Ended up with 4 points. Had a couple nice finishes at the rim. But, 3-point shooting hurting Gary right now. We really, really could have used a couple of those. Like I mentioned, the one particular three I mentioned, but there was another one later as well. When I believe it was an 11-point game, he had a 3 and missed it badly. It would have made it an 8-point game. Disappointing from Gary. You really expect him to knock down open threes. Mo Wagner was great tonight. I mean, just typical Mo, 18 points for him. Only 2 boards, but obviously shot the ball really well. Best on the team. And Cole was good tonight. It felt like a quiet 20 points for Cole to me. Like when I just pulled up this box score right before I started the show, I thought it would have like 12. Ended up with 20 on the night for him, as well as 5 boards. Caleb Houston, a short little 16-minute stint, filling in for Jonathan Isaac. 3 points for him. And we mentioned, before I get to him, Chuma and Admiral came in garbage time, did not score. Jonathan Isaac, listed as available before the game, and didn't play a second. If you watched the show last night, I said there was 0% chance that Jonathan Isaac plays. So when I saw this afternoon that he was available, I was like, what? And then, of course, he doesn't play. So should have expected as much. Really could have used him tonight. Let's take a look at some of these team stats. I can promise you several of them are going to be really ugly. Magic win only 1 quarter tonight, the third quarter. So ironic. That whole stretch earlier in the season where you couldn't win a third quarter, and tonight you couldn't win any quarter but the third quarter. Obviously, you get blown out in the first. You barely lose the second. You win the third, and then you just get blown out in the fourth when you just run out of gas. Points in the paint, Brooklyn kills you. 56 points in the paint for them. Rare that the Magic lose the points in the paint battle. They did tonight. You lose the fast break points battle. You obviously the big lead wasn't a battle. You do have more bench points than them, which is par for the course. 50 bench points for the Magic. You love to see that. Only 11 turnovers. Again, so rare that the Magic play poorly, end up getting, losing, but losing by a lot, getting blown out, and only 11 turnovers. It's just very strange when it comes to that. If we look over here at the team stats over here on ESPN, these are the ones that are just really going to hurt. Like, obviously, you shoot 40% from the field. I mean, good luck winning an NBA game like that. You shoot 9 of 29 from 3. I'm surprised it was that high. It felt like you just couldn't buy. I thought it would be under 30%. You shoot 31% from 3. 81% from the free throw line. That's fine, I guess. But this is where it's just stunning. Stunning. So unlike the Orlando Magic. You get out-rebounded by, drumroll. I need to add a drumroll sound effect to my board. You get out-rebounded by 21, 57-36. That is just stunning. I can't believe it. Defensive rebounds, you can kind of understand because the Magic missed a lot of shots tonight. So you would expect that the Nets would get more defensive rebounds than you, obviously. But the offensive rebounds, to give up 14 offensive rebounds compared to your 7, especially on a night when you don't shoot the basketball well, that's when offensive rebounds should be up. They should be up. The fact that you missed 52 shots tonight and you only got 7 offensive rebounds, that is just not Orlando Magic basketball. That was disappointing. And a lot of that was just effort. Nets end up with 31 assists to your 24. 24 assists on 35 field goals is good. But you just need more field goals. Oh, goodness. Everything else we already talked about. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, the things you really count on for the Magic, points in the paint and rebounds, you just didn't have it tonight. Did not have it. Let's see. Joe says too many second chance points for Brooklyn. Yep. Sorry, I'm going to direct quote this because I like the end. Too many second chance points for the Brooklyn Bums. There you go. Oh, gosh. There's a lot of overreacting happening in chat right now tonight, guys. Come on now. Come on. We win 9 games. We're calling for people's heads. Let's settle down. Okay. Peacecraft says this schedule is pretty rough this month. Gonna need Wendell and Fultz. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Markelle Fultz is back next week. I don't have any kind of insider information. Don't quote that. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. I said this last night. I wouldn't be surprised if they've been holding him out. Like if he's been ready to come back, but they've been holding him out because he's been rolling. Why would you rush your point guard back? Your injury-prone point guard. Why would you rush him back any earlier than you needed to? But I wouldn't be surprised. We got 3 days off. Maybe he's back as early as Wednesday. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, Chris, you said it, man. Shout out to the people that are here. Real fandom. Yeah, these are the real Magic Maniacs. If you turn up after you lose by 27 or whatever it was, you're the real Magic Maniacs. Okay, guys, let's take a look at the scores around the league. Look at the standings. We'll talk about the week ahead a little bit, and then we're going to call tonight. Let's look at the final scores. There's a few. Cavs beat the Pistons. Shocker. I believe that is now 17 straight losses, 16 straight losses for the Pistons. Really quick, Anthony, this is a great point. He says, how about that Palo dunk? That was a sensational dunk. Just terrific. Loved it. It was beautiful. Highlight of the night. One of the few highlights of the night. Timberwolves, man, they are rolling. Beat the Hornets by 6 in Charlotte. Then the Clippers. Now, this is crazy. Warriors led that entire game until I think 8 seconds left in the game. The Clippers took the lead and won the game. Pretty crazy. And then for the other games that are happening right now, a couple Western Conference games, but then Eastern Conference, Bucks and Hawks, 1-point game with 8 minutes left. That's interesting. Bulls leading the Pelicans right now. That's surprising. And then the Pacers with a 9-point lead over the Heat in the third quarter down in Miami. We'll have to wait and see how those games turn out. Last thing, guys, we're going to look at the standings. 14-6 Orlando Magic, but hey, you still have a half-game lead on the Bucks. Obviously, we'll see how their game goes tonight. You may end up tied with the Bucks, by the end of the night. But 14-6, guys, after 20 games, you're officially a quarter of the way through the season, and you have a 70% win rate. You guys can be mad at everything, but yeah, you'll take that every day of the week. All right, guys. One last reminder that the 6 Man Show Postgame Live is brought to you by Rock'em. We love Rock'em. It's a great company. Can't recommend them enough, whether it's for Orlando Magic socks or underwear, or things for socks or underwear for other things, like maybe your favorite NFL team, NHL team, college team, or things that aren't sports, like Harry Potter or Disney or Pixar or The Office. They have a brand new line from The Office. Definitely recommend you check them out at rock'em.com and use the code MAGIC20 when you shop there to get you 20% off your order at rock'em.com. All right, guys, something we don't always do. I'm going to end the night with this. We're going to take a look at the schedule just because it is a little bit unorthodox because of the in-season tournament, and not just unorthodox, but it's new. Like, they added 2 games this week. So in case you haven't seen the schedule that was added, obviously we just had that Brooklyn game. Wednesday we go to Cleveland. Cleveland is meh right now, guys. It's just a meh team. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm struggling. Very meh team in Cleveland. That's a winnable game. You come home to face the Detroit Pistons, the worst team in basketball. You cannot lose that game on Friday. You just can't. I don't care if the Pistons win their game on Wednesday. You cannot lose to Detroit at home. You can't. Gotta beat them. Then Monday, December 11th, face the Cavs. I'll be at that game. I'm excited. My first game of the season. I'll be down in Orlando. So if any of you are going to that game, December 11th, stop by and say hey. And you're wondering, is there going to be a post-game live? Of course there's going to be a post-game live. You better believe it. It's not going to be me, though. It's going to be either Jonathan or Luke that night. Ajori B says, what happened to Kevon Harris? Kevon Harris has been hurt. He's still hurt. I would guess when he gets back or comes back, he will go straight to I almost said Lakeland, to Osceola for some rehab stuff. And obviously he's a two-way player, so more than likely he'll play more with Osceola than Orlando. Okay, so yeah, talking about the schedule, look at all these breaks here. Obviously, you get 3 days off, then you get a normal 1 day off, and then another 2 days off, and then another 3 days off. Like I mentioned earlier, a ton of rest for this Magic team right down the road. A great opportunity to get a little bit of rest for the guys that have been playing, maybe get some guys back who haven't been playing, and, tweak some things. We've talked about the fact that the defense maybe hasn't been the best the last several games. Maybe you can go back to the film room, tweak some things. But the biggest thing is just getting guys rest. I mean, we've had a nonstop schedule to start the season. Very few extra days off. And so it's a great opportunity for the Magic to just rest up. So that's going to do it for us, guys. Tonight, I promised a short episode. We're coming up on 25 minutes here. Short and sweet. Magic lose. It's rough. Hate to see it. But what a streak. Hey, golf clap it up. 9 wins in a row for the Magic. Just incredible. Never saw that coming. Tune into the 6-Man Show on Monday. Jonathan, Luke will talk about this game and so much more. Might have a special guest. We'll see. But until then, let's go Magic.